Oh yeah, you have actually. When you were laughing, we were like, "Why are you so excited?"
Yo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was you. I hype that day, bro. Come bring the same hypeness. Come.
Yo.
That was it.
Welcome to another episode of Truth and Banter, episode 6. Don't know.
I didn't know I was coming.
Yes. What we got for them?
Introduce yourselves.
Yo, myself, Richard Flash, you know me.
Yo, them sugar.
The one and only Sistah Char.
Naya Baya.
And Sha'al Truth.
I know. All right. Big shout out to our sponsor, HebrewConnect.com.
Done.
What's that? So you're connecting through a platform
With
across the
people
world
who think the same mindset. Yeah, man. Pure positivity.
HebrewConnect.com.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Don't have to worry about going on whatever social media platform and seeing pure foolishness as you enter it. This love and light, that's what we need.
HebrewConnect.com.
Right. You have to give him one of them little jingles, yeah.
For real, boy.
Mate, you get me?
Do you know what? Dwayne Harris, yeah, we're gonna hook that up. Sistah Char, she wanna hook that up. All right, man, let's jump into this. Who wants to start this thing?
What we got for them?
Boy, a big topic, which will probably take out the whole of the show. But I think it's a topic that we need to discuss. Blended families. I was talking about this not even too long ago. And fun enough, you mentioned it to me time ago. And so there's something that we need to discuss, and then someone else brought it up to me. But it's a difficult one because I think it depends on your mindset going into a relationship. So you could either both have children going into a relationship, or it could be just one. So let's just say the woman, usually more time is the woman, more time. So the woman can have children, and obviously the man's come in and now he's playing, I'm not say playing, but now he's the stepdad to these children. And obviously there's pros and there's cons to it. I think it depends on the dynamic of the woman and her children with the man coming into it. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? How are the children? Are they like totally in love with their own dad? Is it going to cause problem with the new guy coming in? Are they going to like him? Like there's so much. There's so much that goes on. And I wonder, obviously it's not just the woman, I'm just using that as the example, but I wonder for a man that goes into a relationship, what goes through his mind? Like, is he scared? Like, is this going to work? All these kind of things. Am I going to have to deal with baby daddy dramas, all this kind of stuff? Yeah. So I don't know, like for you, okay, if you was going into a relationship, what would it be like? What's the things that's going through your head?
Boy, I told you guys off camera already. Maybe I'm a bit crazy, but basically, I haven't got any kids, but I'm thinking if I get with a woman who's got a kid already, and later down the line we have a kid, I'm thinking that older kid's gonna bully my younger kid. Simply like, if I buy my kid a toy and the older kid likes, he's like, what? I'm taking that toy, that's my toy. And my kid's just gonna be crying, and that's what I'm thinking.
They'd still love them as a sibling. That's their sibling.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
Stop saying kid, they're not a goat.
But that could happen even when you got there, when all the children are yours anyway.
Yeah, but I can deal with that. That's my kid, innit? Like, it's like someone else bullying your kid. But even though you've taken him as your own kid, but he's bullying
kid, isn't it?
that you, but
child.
Yeah.
What's
man.
the sound that goats make again?
No, that's a sheep.
No, they make the same sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Every time you say kid, that's one.
Yeah.
Goat and sheep.
But yeah, that's my thing. I've got crazy thoughts in my head. Maybe I'm living in an old.
So that's
many
really.
movies.
That's really your
You've got
Watch movies.
brothers from a different mum, innit?
But I never grew up.
I mean,
with them.
different mum
I
from
never
a
grew
different
up-
dad.
I was like the only child. Like I never grew up with them. So they were other households. Yeah, they will come over, but they're way older than me as well. So it was just little Richard. You know what I'm saying?
Did they bully you?
Shit.
See?
No, they were like, it was a different generation. Like, I was into computer games, and I think around them times they were into raving and stuff. Like, they were way older than
What's
me.
the gap? The age gap?
I don't even know their age. All I know is they're in their 40s now.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, like
a
10 years.
Yeah, so it's mad. It's mad. But these are my crazy thoughts.
So that's the only problem you would have, like them bullying your children.
Yeah, because then my kids crying to me. I'm like, be a man, like, go and get it back in it. Like, oh, come on, man, I'm doing something. Like, go and sort yourself out. But then I'm gonna have to intervene, and I can see them saying, "Don't talk to him like that, because you can't discipline. You know his dad."
The film.
Yeah, that's part of what some people think like. But remember, sometimes a lot of the time when we're talking about these sort of topics, we have to differentiate how our mindset was before being in the truth. Now, I don't think in the truth people would even contemplate, especially if they're in the same body as you. You're not contemplating all of them things that used to run through your head. You get what
I
I'm
think
saying?
so, because you take time to get to know the person.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you see that, okay, she or he is level-headed, then you're not so worried about having to take on their children. And especially if they are in the body, then you kind of see how the children are
operate,
and how they operate. So that might be a factor.
Yeah,
But I
that's
do think,
easier in the truth. But before the truth, like nothing's.
at that time.
I remember when I was young, I was always ducking and diving to try and make sure that you don't speak to someone who's got a child. Like, no, that's a boy or young guy thing.
Yeah.
But it was very hard not to. Like, everyone you speak to, they've got a child. So in the end, you just give up. But you do have the thought in your head, and as we were discussing before, like, for those that watch Kevin Samuels, even he brings it up in his podcasts or his discussions with people. Enough man out there would class it as, okay, well, now I've got to provide for that next child.
Right.
And that might be a problem for them. Or, as you just said, there's times where you're dealing with the child to discipline them. Well, a lot of the time, you coming in as a say, stepfather into a relationship before the truth, as I said, you see a lot of the discrepancies or the faults in the child, like bad behavior or whatever, that the mum don't see. So when you're talking about it or bringing it up, it's almost like you've got a problem with the child, but you don't. You just pinpointing, like, how come, she's so rude or whatever the case may be. And the mum don't really see it until you're bringing it up. But to the mum, it might feel like a burden. So I know that's another thing that runs through man's head. And then there's the third thing, they just think in their head, okay, drama. From the dad side. Then a fourth thing is,
I thought that would be like one of the main ones.
yeah, that is one of the main ones, because for some reason there's enough men out there that are just dumb. They don't want to let go of. They feel a lot of men having this, like, especially with this immature mindset, that because they've got a child with someone or a woman, almost like they're theirs forever. No matter. So they feel that they can talk to them anyhow and deal with them anyhow.
Possession.
So even though they've moved on, it's like they still want to prove. And then what happens is that's reflected to the child as well. So then the child wants to try and disrespect you as a stepfather or someone who's in the house or whatever the case may be. There's enough aspects to it. But again, you have to say praise the Most High for the truth, because your mindset then changes. You're not thinking about all of that.
I would have thought that would have been one of the biggest things.
Yeah, but they're not in specific order. I'm just saying all of them.
Yeah.
But that is probably
That's
one of the biggest ones.
Definitely.
It's a huge one.
because it's such a an up, or like it's either positive or negative. Like, you always find that there's some people, yes, my stepdad raised me, and like they're so happy, and he took me on, and I'm the person I am because of that.
Have you noticed she put on an American accent? In America, I think it's a totally different scenario to what we go through here. Like, going Caribbean, it's so simple.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you're not getting into the only time you're getting into problems with a child's dad is if you're mistreating the woman and she's called the child's dad to say, oh, you know, such a, like Richard's trying to bad me up or put his hand on me, then the child's dad might come along and say, yo, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? But other than that, that's like just a common thing. They just, man. It's like, well, go on, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's here now. These young, they're not even young. Like, man with immature mentality have this thing of like, they need to prove for the rest of their life. Like when you look at other nations and when they go through it, they're all brethrens with the ex.
They get along, it's true. They get along.
That is so true.
They actually get along.
Mark, how you doing, mate? Yeah. She's a headache, ain't she?
Or even like the baby.
You know what I'm saying?
The baby
It's
mothers.
so true.
The baby mothers are friends. And
Even that.
That's
she's
what I'm
at,
saying.
she's at the wedding and all that.
That's like our problem thing. Let me tell you something. My when I was in the world, my connect, he was with his good friend's baby mum. So his friend finished with her years ago, and he went prison, come out, and whatever. And as time's gone by, seen her and and got with her, and they're still friends.
Raw.
Richard's like, what?
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is. But
Richard's like,
we could never do that.
Could never be that.
That's what I'm saying.
Richard
To us,
never.
we look at it in a way. But I remember there was a discussion one time with the man them, and we were asking the question like, you know, in the scriptures it says that if you've got a brother who passes with no children, you know, you got to take on that sister-in-law, and everyone's like, no. But it's written. To us, it's like, but other nations will probably gladly just, come on, girl, let's.
In Africa, certainly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
is it?
No long thing, boy. That's a straight, like, you have to do it.
No.
Is it?
I was waiting for his
That's
projection.
My thought is, boy, just going back as well, I'm thinking I'm going to invest time into this child. See, I'm using child now.
Ah, very good. Well done.
And I'm going to raise him or her as my own. And 15 years down the line, you're going to say, but you're not my dad.
Yeah, that happens, isn't it?
Bruv, I'm finished, bruv.
How?
I'm finished because I've raised you like my own and you're going to tell me that. Bruv, go back to your dad, bruv. That's it.
Do you know that's also on the mum to deal with as well, you know? Because, you know what I'm saying? There needs to be a level from their side as well where they're showing the child certain ways, like, no, you can't carry on like that because he's done this and that for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Which
saying.
your dad hasn't.
If the woman reverences the man, then surely the child will fall in line behind that.
Not all the time, you know, because it depends on what the man's filling up the child's head with. Do you know what the perfect film I think of where it's like, oh, it's so happy, liar, liar.
Oh
yeah, Jim
Like
Carrey.
Jim Carrey and the
watched that the other day
new
as well.
boyfriend was like brethrens. What was the man's name again? Malcolm
Big
or something
movie.
like that.
That was a big movie still.
Like that's for me, I could be wrong, but that's like a typical thing in America. Like they don't mind all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get on with it.
They just get on with it. And even maybe other nations here. But for our people, boy.
But then, in saying that though, Jim Carrey in that film, his character was always making little digs.
Yeah, there might, because it's like a competition, but it wasn't like some arms ass thing.
No, it wasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
The
No, it was
child,
subtle.
actually, Jim Carrey was the greatest thing, wasn't
Yeah, to that child.
yeah.
Child,
Greatest
yeah.
dad ever.
He just kept letting him down.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to be honest, I think that's like my generation downwards problem. Because when you look at like my dad's generation or our parents' generation, they didn't really go through that nonsense.
It's true.
Like, because the amount of children my dad's got, it's like when I see now that a lot of their mums have moved on, but they're still like, yeah, man, like if I'm like, I've got brothers that I met in the last, say, 15 years, and their stepdad was just normal. Like, yeah, man, like, you're cool with me, and would even mention about my dad, and even one of his friends who used to live in Brookston, moved to Tottenham, was like, oh, yeah, I knew your dad when I was younger, blah, blah, blah. And we'll talk about him. But it was no It was just normal.
Yeah.
But I think our generation or my generation and then moving down now, they've got something to prove.
So what brought the bad stigma?
Emotions.
Yeah.
Emotions.
And property.
'Cause when
So-
Like wanting to own.
Okay. And I was going to say, so someone going into that situation now, then what would be like the advice that we would give?
What? In the truth or out?
In the truth, because
But in the truth, you don't really have that mindset, innit?
but you don't still think it could be an issue for some people.
Yeah, probably, but then they need to grow up, innit?
Grow up.
Because
okay?
in a sense, I think some of the times women provoke it as well.
Yeah. In the
Well,
mix.
give me an example.
Enough men who are dead, enough men that are in prison are in that case because of women. Having to
Okay.
prove for all women, you know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
So a lot of areas that are in beef now, it starts with some girl, you know. You know what I'm saying? So if you think like, okay, I'll give you a scenario. You might be vexed with who you're with now, and they're dissing you, making it seem like as if you're like the worst thing that they've ended up with. So that means you're more relating to the child's dad then, saying that they were better.
Yeah.
And them sort of thing can drive something
cool, something.
in who you're with now. Or the other way around. It's like, you know, because you don't get on with your child's dad, now the person you're with has to defend you. You get what I'm saying? So it can go both sides. You know, so it's a tricky one though. But in the truth, you just have to. I think it's easier from what I wouldn't know, because obviously my relationship was from before the truth coming into the truth. But for those that I see around us, like, I don't think people are too watching unless the child's bad breed. And then I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
But then also, I think like being in the truth in that kind of situation, there's like a hope of better, because you can use the scriptures to kind of guide your thoughts, your feelings, how you deal with certain situations. To kind of, if someone is thinking like, no,
you're kind of bound.
then you can't have that mindset.
Rules, by rules in the truth. Whereas before, you're just doing whatever, innit?
But even, it's mad. I know we just mentioned it, like our parents' generation, how they handled it. And they didn't really have the scriptures, but they just rolled with the punches. Like my dad, I remember he got with my mum, she had a child, and the child was disabled. But he just, like, to him, it was nothing. And sometimes I sit down and I think, right, like, you're like, I can't believe you did that sort of thing. Not many men would. But he said,
but then that means he
looking
must
at
have
me
had,
like, why are you asking me that? That's nothing.
they must have had a lot of love for her.
Yeah, that's
So she must have shown some good qualities or characteristics to make him think, yeah, man.
Mum.
What to take for to take on the woman he's met, your mum's child?
Yeah.
Not necessarily,
Because
it's not about having love. It's just like that's. I believe that's in man, you know,
To do that, you think
to do it,
to do it.
but they know the scenarios that come with it, especially being British and of a younger generation.
Do you think we overthink it in our head though?
No, because we can only think of what we see. You're not gonna be going through scenarios in your head unless you've seen that it happens.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we see that. I don't know. I can't pinpoint when this started, or you know what I'm saying, when the shift changed, where everyone was. It's like, you know what I'm saying. I've got sisters and a brother. Like my sibling after me, my dad and her dad are cool with each other. Same ends. But it's like, when did that change?
Boy.
Where you know, you might see a child's dad and they're screwing, or you're screwing, or I don't know.
A roting.
I think I think that was the change,
Yeah,
like this
it was
whole
the right
Roadman thing, and then he's with
But now
that
our
one. That's
but it's not
yeah,
even just. But it's not all. It's enough of them ain't road. They work and whatever. But there's still just this problem, this animosity.
That's
I
what
don't
it is
know.
though, because our parents' generation wasn't really doing this roting, was they?
No.
It's our generation.
not as how vast it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
they
yet.
were doing their thing, but more professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More
And then
fisticuffs.
our generation
Yeah.
just come with this nonsense.
More what?
Fisticuffs.
What, our generation? Oh, you mean our parents? Oh, yeah.
No, he's never heard. He's never heard of fisticuffs before.
Oh, stop it.
He's looking around.
I thought he was trying to say sophisticated before. That's what it was. That's what I said. That's why I said, huh?
Oh, mate.
And then he started doing this, more fisticuffs. I was thinking, huh?
Stop that, man.
Oh man.
Okay, so it was our generation then, basically,
Yeah, definitely.
where that nonsense started.
No, you're probably
gotta
from those that are in their 40s.
Yeah, that's the same generation, no?
Not yours.
That's like my sister's.
That's my generation.
My sister's
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, me and your sister's generation. See it there.
Listen, it's not that
Big
many years.
Mambo,
between-
yeah, you know.
Okay, so it was your generation then that started that nonsense.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's them that started the whole road nonsense, isn't it? The different, this area versus that area and all that nonsense.
So it's you lot's age,
Like late-
OGs.
Late 40s.
Oh,
If
late
you,
40s.
yeah, because when you think of like the east and north thing, them man there are like 45 and 46
Oh,
and
them-
that. Or maybe even up
Oh,
nearly.
that is the point actually. Yeah, that's true.
No dent on the Jamaicans, but I heard it was the Rastas still.
No.
Oh, that started that?
Right, just
Stop it.
saying,
Rastas are meant
just
to be
saying.
peaceful.
No,
No
the
way.
Rastas that came over.
Oh.
No, yeah, they started the arms arse and the shootings and all
But
that. But we're
Rastas-
talking
Yeah, the
not
Rastas.
Rastas, Yardies.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna
sorry.
say can't be the
Sorry,
Rastas. No
Rastas.
way.
The yardies.
I'm about to say Rastas. No way.
Yeah, but we're not talking. That's this a drug thing. We're talking about. Do you remember these things that are going on ain't nothing to do with drugs? Is, as I said, from what I've been explained to me, that it's over woman. And then you got the one that's in South, the different areas. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I remember being in secondary school when the whole Brixton Peckham thing started.
All of that over woman.
No, that one was.
About to say.
That
I
one's
say, bloody
over.
hell, pum pum, turn up.
I think the East North one was
She
over
must be-
woman.
she must
But
be
the
Asian.
the South ones.
Did you just say
What
that?
was
Invasion.
Yeah, right. You ain't got no one representing for you. Name someone who you can say, oh yeah, she's Bayesian and man
Take
with
the
black.
Pinkett.
Rihanna.
Jada Pinkett messed herself up, man. Have you seen her?
She got in an
Hey,
entanglement.
isn't
though, innit?
Stacey Dash half Belgian, half Mexican?
Yeah, she's Bayesian.
She
Half
Mexican.
Bayesian, half Mexican. She's probably South American or with
No.
Dominican Republic.
No, she's not.
Nah, she's Bayesian, man. See, they're trying to take it away.
No, okay, that's Jada Pinkett when she was younger. So you got two there. Who else?
Can I,
Because I'm gonna start reeling off.
can I say a man?
Because no homo, innit?
LL Cool J.
And you gonna say LL Cool J?
He ain't really.
Licking lips, Cool
He
J.
weren't really.
Lips Cool J.
He ain't really no one you can. That woman. I think it's just because he's a rapper. One
Why-
of the
why-
original rappers.
Why people like the women?
Yeah, like oh yeah. Well, maybe
Wait.
not. Maybe because that's why his name's LL, innit? Ladies love.
Do you know
Cool
how much you have
James.
to pay him to take off his hat?
Who?
LL Cool J.
Yeah, because he's got what he's got, innit? And
No, you can't. Listen, you can't take off your hat, bro. That's against the law. Uncovering your nakedness.
What? What scripture's that?
I say what scripture's that?
I don't know what you're talking about,
It's
Bridget.
uncovering that nakedness, bro. You gotta cover your nakedness. There we go.
Like that girl that
How come we
got
don't tell
surgery on
Shah
her
to
forehead.
cover her
Oh,
nakedness?
bloody hell. I forgot about that. She fully got surgery on their head to make it smaller.
Yeah,
Who
bro.
did that?
Probably Bayesian.
Rihanna. We got big brains.
She was white.
Was she white? Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, no.
How can you get
I
surgery?
know.
No, but how does that work?
I found that so funny that I laughed with no sound.
You can do anything, innit? Yeah, you can get the implants, the hair
Yeah.
follicle.
And,
The tam-
and
the
make it
tattoo.
decrease.
Well, all the way there.
No, no one's hairline don't start there. You
No,
bring
I'm
it
saying
down.
like you'd put the hair pigment.
No, yeah,
there.
they juke it in like
Yeah.
so.
What, like
it's-
there?
Tattoo. It's a
Yeah,
Isn't that
anywhere.
weird though? Like it's
Remember Wayne Rooney had it.
The
yeah.
hair implant.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Oh yeah, he's
I was
gone back
talking
to
about
all
the
way back,
tattoo.
boy, lad.
Oh no,
Not
not
Wayne
tattoo.
Rooney.
No, no,
No,
no.
that
The
went
implants.
far back. I forgot about me.
It's going back now again though.
He's old now though, isn't it? That man, they're nice now.
Well, it's got money in it, so let's get it done again.
Isn't it, boy?
That is
But yeah, man. So those are the trials and tribulations of a man's life. And there's hardly any woman out there with no children for them.
I was going to say that because as you get older, you're not in a relationship, you have to kind of consider that, okay, the person you're going to end up with may have children.
Yeah.
So these are all the things that will go through your head. But then, okay, so you've said
And that's the wonderful thing of being in the truth and having no such thing as divorce, because you're not leaving.
You just get on with it, boy. So, okay, so what do women think going into a relationship with a man that has children?
I think it's more of a thing for
They want
men
that.
than it is for women.
Women will love that.
They're more at ease though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think women more so don't really have an issue with it. I think this like
Unless they're young.
He's got
I think
kids.
young women have a problem with it.
Some, yeah. I think some young women would even take it on.
Yeah,
Like really young, yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's more of an issue.
But
for
it
men.
depends on the woman though. If they're like proper into children, I don't think it'll bother them.
Yeah.
If they're not,
Yeah.
no, hell no, then they're just
Yeah, if they're anti.
Some women might look at it as like baby mum drama, innit? The same way that certain men look at it.
I think that's always going to be the bigger factor on both parts is the baby mama or baby daddy drama. Because you don't really know what you're walking into. Unless obviously you have that conversation.
Yeah, you
beforehand
have
and
to.
then
That's the whole purpose of getting to know people, though, man. We rush into things too much.
know what you're walking into first.
Yeah,
Courting.
like
It's
Yeah,
important.
courting
you
is
know what I'm
everything.
saying.
Important, man.
Courting.
Courting.
We don't know about shooting.
I knew he was gonna do that. You know? It's not a crime to speak correctly.
That's the
Okay.
basic
What do
today.
you know about shooting?
Courting.
You
Shooting.
can pronounce the T's.
Rebuking.
Shooting. Rebuking. You're like the most poshest rapper ever.
She's the most posh grime artist. You're more posh than D Double.
For real, boy.
Oh, stop.
It's so true. Oh,
He
but
pronounces
proper
his words
pronounces
proper.
everything.
Oh, mate.
He pronounces everything, boy.
It's a love a D double boy.
Them two on the track will be hard.
Nah, it
bro.
really wouldn't be.
D double, come and do this. Collab.
Oh,
Let's
mate.
collaborate.
That is jokes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well then, okay, so what's the pros to being in a blended family? Ooh, silence. Ooh, silence.
Pros, you know. Those weren't cons, you know. Those are just things that
happen.
Yeah, but
scenarios that
goes
you
through the
get.
head,
You
scenarios. But what's the pros? There's got to be pros to
There's
being in a
the
family.
only pro is for maybe 50% of the children or the child.
Yeah.
That the woman's not with a waste man, and he looks after the child, like gives extra, whether the dad does or not.
Okay, let me ask you something then.
And obviously, you giving them siblings to play with. That's the pros. The pro, you know, or the pros to the mum. The pro ain't never to the man. That's a more of a
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah, the
Okay,
pros
yeah,
are
I
more.
get
For
You have to be a man
Yeah.
to be able to handle that. You get what
That's
I'm
what
saying?
I'm
Man,
So you
man.
basically pretty much just answered my question I was going to ask you because
What?
I was going to say, for a man who has never really had that responsibility of raising a child. Okay, so
Like
for
Richard.
your example, I knew you were going to go there. I knew it was coming, you know.
Oh.
Like, okay, like for you as an example, you was the older brother to your brother or your other siblings.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you had that experience of knowing what it is to raise.
Yeah.
So what for a man who hasn't had that experience and goes into a relationship,
So they haven't had any brothers or sisters,
basically,
and they go
and
into
haven't really had any.
Oh, like an only child
experience.
going for
Yeah.
someone who's got.
I don't know. He's gonna have to learn, innit? But maybe that's the answer, the conclusion. Those that don't grow singly, maybe they're the ones that shy away from. If they meet a woman, oh yeah, I've got a child, and they're like, oh later. You get what I'm saying? Where
What you say, Richard? You get shook? Would you get shook?
Back in
no,
the
but
day,
he said that
He's from a blended family.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was the baby though.
I was the youngest, but obviously seeing my dad there, he just did his normal life to him. Like I never heard him once say, that's not my child, or he just did what he had to do. Like, so he, if anything, if for anyone to look for me to look to, I'd look to him. And and he just.
Do you know what the thing is? I think because that's probably even something as me as growing young. It's like when you grow with younger brothers and sisters, it's very hard to transition from looking at them as younger brothers and sisters to looking at them as your child. Or even your own children. It's like it's surreal when you have your first child, if you've got younger brothers and sisters and you were helping out. It's almost like you treat your child like a younger brother and sister, or your stepchild like a younger brother or sister. And it's like that reality don't kick in until maybe years later, that you deal with them like a child.
Okay, I see what you mean.
And not a younger brother or sister. You understand? Because even as you know, in the body, all the youngers, I more treat them like a younger brother and sister, because I'll punch them up, whatever I need to. Obviously not abuse, but you know what I mean. Give them little digs. I know the rest.
One in there.
Yeah, I had to. You know what I'm saying? So it's because in my mindset, I still see them as younger brothers and sisters, and not as, a child of someone. So that's how I deal with them. And then even my own children, it took a while to, But I guess the things I was doing growing up would be what a father was doing, because I was taking my little sisters shopping and them sort of things and spending money on them. And like my sister got married the other day. She made me walk her down the aisle. And it was my mum that broke it down to me. She said, like, you were basically like a dad to them or to her. So that's why you're getting that privilege. Like, I didn't even see that though. I'm just doing what I thought I'm meant to be doing as an older brother. But in her eyes, it's like, raw, you were like a dad.
Yeah.
And it's like, raw.
That is a powerful thing. That's a powerful thing.
Like when the ark with Noah
Come
full,
on.
you get me?
I know the
Powerful like when the ark with Noah full, you like them yardie style there, innit? Bayesians don't come up with lyrics
Oh,
like that.
whatever, man.
I couldn't imagine going to a Bayesian dance.
They said that.
Hold on!
No, he's
Lighter!
Nah.
You know it don't sound right. You know, like you go to a yard dance, like, hold on!
Anyone
Pull up that.
that's what.
Like, just say,
say it.
hold on, pull up that in a Bayesian accent.
Hold on and pull up, no man.
No, it's
No, that's not even it. That's not even it.
nah. That was too Jamaican. The Bayesian don't sound like that.
Yeah, but even that sounded funny.
Nah, gotcha.
Hold on and pull on.
Yeah.
You know, I can't imagine.
Hold on, pull up that.
Skylarking.
Yeah.
Nah, man. That's why you like have to deal with the calypso
Wait.
thing,
What did
man.
you want to hit him with today? Because he always gets onto the Bayesians. What did you want to hit him with today?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Listen,
You think you're LL?
it was listen, it's the Bayesians that are setting pace. After last week, you tried to cuss us about we're trying to follow behind Jamaica with the whole removing the Queen as head of state. It was actually the Bayesians that have said they're removing the Queen as head of state from November.
That's right.
And they're trying to tell the Jamaicans to follow suit, and the Jamaicans
Queen
are moving
ain't
shook.
over the Jamaicans.
She is. She's head of state.
You're in the Commonwealth. She's over you, man. She's over you.
It sounds real bossy. I don't know about none of that, you know. You know what I'm saying? All of that, I don't know.
Yeah, he
about
gets
that.
out of it. I don't know.
No, I don't
want to be
know about all of
humble.
that.
Bayesian.
We'll see if it happens. There's always.
No, they said from November. They're going to a
So they're giving 4 months
they're
to try and cream as much as they can. To try and cream as much as they can, and then say, oh, yeah, we've made our money.
Say, okay, we've taken all your land.
And the reason why they're doing that is because they heard Jamaica saying we want our reparations.
Yeah, but no, I don't think that's.
He said, "She shut up."
I think that's. I don't think that's why. I think that would have been a long-standing. They even told that man that.
And you lot have got too many.
Elon Musk.
You lot have got too many like rich white people that control parts of
like
Barbados. So
Elon
that, I don't know how
Musk,
that's going to work.
people were
That's where all the
calling
rich
on
people
him
go.
to give back. There's a plantation, a sugar plantation
Elon
that he's
Musk.
got, that he owns, and then people were saying to him, "Nah, like you got to give that back." So he was kind of it was actually on LBC. They were saying to him, "Nah, give that back. Like that don't belong to you. You got that off the back of slaves. You need to give that back."
Elon Musk, did he buy it?
No,
or
it was handed
to him?
to him.
Is it? But
got a
his
sugar
name ain't
plantation.
like a slave owner name.
But boy,
True, isn't it?
He must have bought that.
they said it was handed to him. From
I don't
his
think
parents, father.
Elon was he isn't rich off of family, I don't think. I think it's just through,
was he?
I'm sure he's rich off of because he done PayPal, innit?
Yeah.
I'm
is he
sure
not rich off
that's
that or
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But
So-
I would have to research it.
Yeah, but it was on LBC.
that's deep, boy.
Yeah, buddy. I told you there's a shift, boy. There's fully a shift.
And we're leading the way.
Who, the Bayesians?
That's
He
right.
wanted to get out.
Well, you can lead all you want, but make sure you're leading in Calypso. And don't, just leave the dance hall
It's
alone.
soca.
But you lot don't do no.
So who does Calypso?
More
Yeah.
Trinidad dish, but we were leading in with that, right? We left that alone. Small.
Yeah, it's more soca now. Yeah, it's true.
So you lot don't do no bashment at all.
Small.
Of course
I
they
need to hear-
try
I need
to
to
do
hear it.
bashment, but
No, you said try. Not even they do try. So
it don't
It's a
work.
bit weird, isn't it?
It sounds like a soca bashment.
What does Rihanna? That was Rihanna's first star.
well, bashy kind of.
Yeah, come here, boy, and then that's bashment.
That's bash.
No, she done. What was the
Yeah,
first
but she
come
got
out
it
with?
from the Jamaican star.
You was a fan. That's how I know you were a fan.
Listen, I knew the whole routine, boy.
Oh no.
Yeah, she definitely Bayesian.
Nah, we give it to the Jamaicans.
But anyway, what was you before we went on to
So
this
what happened
Bayesian thing?
was,
And then, you know,
I think we're trying to summarize now this whole blend.
Yeah, the whole
blended.
boy. I don't know, man. It's just it's never gonna stop. It's just gonna always continue. I think we just need to be more sensible with getting to know
the person.
and sticking through. Well, again, as I said, for those in the truth that watch this and those,
Okay, let me ask you something now. Should the man going into the relationship with the woman that has children already, whether he has children himself or not, should he have that conversation with the children's dad?
Depends on the
About what?
children's dad, because he
Just
might
to
be
say that
on a
I'm the
joke
new
man
guy,
thing.
I'm here.
No,
Obviously,
that's
I'm
what
gonna be
the
around
mum's
The mum
supposed to
needs to
do.
do
Oh,
That.
so the mum alone needs
Yeah.
to. Okay, cool.
Because what if the dad is like a
Psycho.
No, forget all
like-
of that. But it's just that's the decency, because as I said to you, enough of these immature men think that they still own
That woman.
the woman. So the woman needs to cut certain conversation and certain, you know what I'm saying, and say, oh, do you know what? I've moved on, you know. So if you're gonna be talking to me, it's about the child. Simple.
Simple as that, yeah.
But some don't want to do that. They still want to kicky and with the the child's dad and all the rest of it, and it just causes pure headache and problems. Because a man, if you're getting that signal, you're always gonna try a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
False hope, innit?
False
Oh,
hope.
yeah.
Yeah, you're always gonna try a
Bringing
thing.
them
You're gonna
along.
think that, oh right, yeah, she's still on it. So that's where women, I think they don't understand that side of things. That if you entertain a man through not even telling them certain things, but in a man's mind, if you're conversating with them and more than about the child and whatever, they still think, oh right, man's got a chance. And then they're gonna try and take that chance.
Shorty swing my way.
But
What?
you're I don't know if you're ever gonna experience any of that.
I've experienced.
You might have to be like Paul
You've
from
experienced
now.
it.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be like Paul.
Paul.
Eunuch.
Paul gets rated. But he's Benjamin, bro.
Yeah, I think you.
Don't rate
Yeah, you're Benjamin, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, you forgot.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because they look at Benjamin as Jamaican.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
Jamaicans lead.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought Bayesians were Judah.
Oh.
I don't know about
I
that
don't know
one,
about
sis.
none of that. I thought Bayesians could be a mix between Northern tribe.
Oh, what?
That's you. Your whole self is Northern tribe. Your Arabic
I
self.
don't know. That's not even important anyway.
Sons
Check
of
him out.
Anak and that.
Isn't it?
Probably.
I told her. What does it?
You lot
say
probably
his name
came from
again?
Atlantis, went on the island, walked from Atlantis to Barbados.
We walked.
Yeah. Remember, Atlantis wasn't covered.
Oh yeah, it was thingy.
Yeah, and then settled there.
Imagine-
That's why I think you lot got the forehead. Is he like in Indiana Jones with the skull, the
Oh,
abnormal
stop
skull?
that.
Those are like some.
Flash, he's trying to say we're Nephilim, see?
Yeah,
So
that's
Trying
why
to say
you
we're
got
Nephilim.
yeah.
What are they backside?
Yeah, see, he remembers. That's probably why you got the head shape.
We're more like Predator.
No justice, you know. What's wrong with this guy?
Thank you for tuning in to the Truth and Banter podcast, episode 6. Praise the Most High. Glory be to the Most High. Thank you and goodbye on that note. Blessings and honor. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, finish.
Finish next.
Mate,
A whole predator.
predator.